Take a nice deep breath in through your nostrils. Exhale with a sigh out through the mouth. Try to empty the mind with the breath out. Just allow the palms to rest nice and wide over your kneecaps. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. We'll just start a few seated cat-cows. Start to open up the heart space, move the heart forward and up. And exhale, push the spine away, round your upper back. Inhale, feel your heart moving forward. And exhale, round the back. You can move in and out of your seated cat-cows at any pace that feels good for your body. You don't have to move in sync with me. Your eyes closed. You can observe how you're feeling. Observe if any parts of the body are calling to you. With the next breath, let's sit up nice and tall. Let the shoulders soften away from the ears. Lengthen both sides of the neck as you press the crown of your head up. Stack the head over your heart, and then align your heart over the hips. Notice your foundation. Notice the weight of your body balancing over the seat. Maybe you just let your body rock a little bit, just to help bring awareness into the foundation, and just let yourself kind of rock into stillness. Soften the hips, relax the legs. Start to visualize your sacrum, the triangular shaped bone at the base of the spine, starting to pull itself down towards the earth. You can visualize the sacrum like an anchor. With the next breath in, try to direct your breath to enter through the base of the spine, and visualize the spine floating up through the vertebral column. Try to feel the breath lengthening the spine as it moves up, and float the top of your head up to touch the sun. Take a few more cycles of breath here, just building awareness around the breath. During our practice today, if thoughts arise, acknowledge them. As you acknowledge them, you release them with a sigh out through the mouth. And with the next breath in, you can recenter your minds. Try to think of the breath as an anchor through your minds. In your tall, seated posture, let's take our hands to our solar plexus chakra. You can just press the fingertips in. We're going to be connecting to our Samana Vayu today. Our Samana Vayu helps us to feel more balanced, so that we take in what we need and we let go of anything that's holding us back or preventing us from moving forward. It helps us assimilate all of our emotions, our experiences, and even with digestion, it helps us to build a fire in the belly. It helps us to nourish our bodies. So with the intention of finding nourishment and balance, take the hands. Let's actually go right above the belly button, just below your solar plexus chakra. Notice the breath. Start to deepen the breath in. Try to pull the breath into the belly underneath the fingertips. Feel the low belly softening. Let it expand out and move in both directions with the breath in. With the exhalation, try to pull the navel, the belly button in and up to your spine. Breathe in and allow the energy from the breath, the prana. Start to visualize it moving through the side body, through the front and the back. Feel it filling up the entire space like a cylinder. Try to draw the breath right underneath the fingertips. And then with the exhalation, let the breath escape out in the same way, feeling it moving through the entire body. Try to focus on bringing it through the side bodies, maybe the rib cage. And begin to visualize a small ball of fire now underneath the fingertips. See the ball of fire is swirling. Try to pull the inhalation towards the ball of fire. See the fire beginning to glow more brightly as you breathe in. Start to think of purification. So the fire is incinerating any energy that's old or stagnant. Maybe if you visualize toxins in the body that need to be released, visualize the fire incinerating it. Breathe in and out through the nostrils, pulling the breath deeper and deeper into the fire. One more cycle of breath here. Let's finish up this last breath. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. Press them to prayer mudra. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down the spine. Lift your heart into the knuckles of your thumbs. Focus on the connection between the heart and the thumbs. Feel your heart opening. Imagine your heart is radiating light and energy into the universe. Think about the time that you've made today to come to the mat. Acknowledge this. Start to feel your heart flooding with energy. Imagine your heart is beginning to fill up and then let the energy overflow and pour out. Continue to radiate light and love. Try to send energy out into the universe for anybody who might need it today. Send it out as an offering, as a dedication. Take the knuckles to your third eye, press the knuckles and maybe you roll the knuckles in a circle. You can massage the forehead, just releasing tension out of the face and out of the brow. With the palms pressed together, let's take the hands way up to the sky over the head. Pull your biceps in line to your ears. Feel the legs and hips rooting deeply into the earth as the arms stretch up. Imagine the arms are reaching out of their sockets. You can feel a line of energy moving through the peripheral part of the arms. Direct that energy out through the fingertips. Try to lift the rib cage up and out of your hips. And now draw the low ribs in towards each other. Try to visualize the rib cage like a corset and then cinch it tightly around the waist to support your lower spine. Connect to the bandhas. Lift up your pelvic floor. This is the Mula Bandha, the root lock. Notice a little spark of energy beginning to swirl as we activate our root chakra, our Mula Bandha. And pull your belly button in and up to your spine. This is the Uddiyana Bandha. So where you feel the Uddiyana Bandha, the upward lock, we want to go just above that to find the Vayu we're working with today, the Samana Vayu. The Samana Vayu is the point in your body where we meet the lower and upper body, finding balance within this place. Exhale, let's let the arms start to slowly float down. Inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. Exhale, we're gonna arc over to the left. Feel your right sits bone grounding strongly into the mat. Try to open up the whole side body. So we're lifting the rib cage up and out of the hips. We're sending energy down through the bottom of our right hip. So again, we're focusing on our side body, and we're also thinking about this midpoint. Keep the bandhas active and engaged. Let's change sides. So press the left hip down. Reach your fingertips up and over. Maybe you close your eyes as you breathe in. Feel the breath combing through the left side of the ribs. Let's go side to side. You guys can just move at will. Move at any pace that feels good for your practice or for your body. Maybe you give the wrists a few swirls as we just start to awaken the joints. The more we move our joints, the more prepared they are for movement. So let's take both hands to the earth. Reach the hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down the spine. See if you can interlace the fingers. Draw the shoulder blades strongly into the spine. Open the chest. Feel your heart moving forward and up through the gateway of your shoulders. And we'll turn our chin up to the sun. Take a breath in. Try to feel the breath moving through your throat chakra. Let's release the binds and take the arms over our head. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe in. Ground down through your hips. Exhale, spiral just your rib cage to the right. You can take your left hand to the right kneecap. Tense the right fingertips behind you. So keep your hips neutral. Just spiral the heart. Try to imagine the twist is starting right at the waistline, right at the middle of the body. We can think about the Samana Vayu, the balancing points. Try to breathe in and connect to the Samana Vayu. Feel the breath moving through the nostrils and then allow it to travel through the sides of the body, the front, the back. Visualize your torso like a cylinder being filled. And pull the breath into the little ball of fire. Exhale, come back to center. Take the arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, steeple grip. Ground through the lower part of the body. Send energy out through your fingertips. Exhale, we're going to release the binds and we'll twist to the left. In our twisting poses, we want to find length through the spine before we start to twist. Try to make a strong connection to your foundation, so connect to the seat. Press the hips and legs strongly into the earth. Visualize your spine lengthening with each breath in. You can picture the spine reaching out through the crown of your head. And then with every exhalation, you might deepen the twist. Try to feel your body spiraling around the axis of the spine. You can turn your drishti over the left shoulder if it feels good for the neck and shoulders. We want to make sure our practice is always steady and comfortable. Let's come back to center. We'll take the arms up over our head. Interlace the fingers, steeple grip. Take one more big stretch. Round down, reach up, focus on the middle point of the body. So find that point within you where you feel energy pushing down, and then find that middle point, that meridian, and then lift up. Do you feel it? Breathe in here. Focus on the cylinder type of breath. And let's release the hands down. Take the arms in front of you. Bring the wrists to the height of the shoulders. Let's just give our wrists a little bit of movement here. Go side to side, up and down, and then swirl them in a circle and change the direction whenever your body calls for it. Flip the palms to the sky. Do this as an offering. We can even gesture to the universe that we're open to receive. So reach out through the fingertips. And curl the fingertips towards your forearms so we'll feel a stretch through the top of our hands. And flip your palms forward. Press through the heel of your hand. You'll feel an awakening through the inside of the wrists. Tone up your bandhas, so just reconnect and make sure they're still active. The belly muscles are strong and toned. We're going to roll ourselves forward over the legs and bring us to tabletop pose. So just make your way to all fours. Just check in with your alignment as you come here. Your shoulders are stacked over the wrists. The hips are stacked over your knees. So we want to just make sure that we're not sagging through the midsection. So the way that we can correct that or just bring awareness to this part of the body is to activate the rib cage. So try to draw these low ribs in. You're going to feel more support through the lumbar spine. Lift up the pelvic floor, pull the belly button in and up to your spine. And we'll take a few more rounds of cat-cow. I like the balance in cat-cow. It's a dynamic posture. So as we think about finding balance and nourishment with our Samana Vayu, I think that cat-cow, it's kind of like the yin and the yang, right? We get some balance here. Exhale, we're opening the back of the heart space. We're flexing the spine. Inhale, we open the front of the heart. We find extension in the back. So just take a couple of rounds here, just at your own pace. Try to scan through your body. Notice if any parts of the body are calling to you. Notice if any parts of your body are needing attention. Find your flat back. Let's come on to our forearms. Stack your shoulders over the wrists. So notice here like how my low back was sort of sagging, my belly was drooping. So just kind of check in with yourself. Make sure that you're not causing stress to the low back. So we want to hold the engagement of the rib cage here. Keep those muscles strong. Wrap the low ribs in. And just begin to reel your consciousness inwards. Notice your spine. Try to visualize your spine lengthening out through the top of the head. And then feel the base of the spine pulling away from the crown in opposition. Visualize length and space opening between the vertebrae with each breath in. And then with your exhalations, we'll breathe a sense of peace and ease through our body. Start to slowly walk your legs to the back of the mat. We're going to lower our hips to the earth. We'll find Sphinx pose. So the shoulders are going to stay aligned over our elbows. The legs can be hips distance apart. Ground down through the tops of your feet. Lift up the kneecaps and fire your quadriceps muscles. Press down through your pubic bone and hip bones. Visualize your hips as the base of the spine. Start to scan up through the spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down the spine. Notice the space around the collarbone widening. The shoulders are relaxed, your neck is long. The crown of your head is reaching up. And the heart's moving forward and up. Try to massage the low back here. Breathe in, we're lengthening the spine. Start to lower yourself down with an exhalation. Stack the forearms on top of each other. Let your forehead rest on the back of the arms, and you can massage your forehead to roll it side to side. Bend your knees. You can let the legs go side to side like windshield wipers. Check in with the low back. Let's come back to center. Let the feet come down to the earth. Stack your shoulders over your elbows. Again, we're going to press ourselves up onto our forearms. So we're back in our little Sphinx pose. We're going to move from Sphinx pose to half frog pose. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down the spine. Open up your chest. Press down through your hips. We're going to bend our right knee. Flex the right foot. Start to pull the toes on your right foot towards your shin. And we're just going to slide. I'm going to move my little rosemary plants away. So we're going to slide the right thigh up. So think about directing the knee up, maybe towards your armpit or shoulder. Hold the right foot flexed. I see somebody's trying to join us. Let's see. There she is. Okay. So hold the right foot flexed. And we'll find our half frog pose. So we don't want to bring the leg up so high that it's causing any sort of discomfort. So we just want to find that steady and comfortable posture. Try to keep sending energy down through the front of the hips. So the right hip is going to be lifted up higher. So just try to keep focusing. Maybe you even close your eyes if they're open. Keep pressing down through the front of the hips. The left leg should still be active. We're still grounding through the top of the left foot. Reconnect to the Samana Vayu. Picture the ball of fire just above the belly button. Feel the breath moving through the front and the back of the body. Move the breath through the sides of the body. We want to hinge our right shin forward so that as you look at the leg, it's going to look like a frog leg. One more breath here. Maybe you imagine somebody behind you just assisting you with the posture by pressing onto your sacrum with a flat palm. So it's with that energy that we want to press down through the hips. Start to slide the right leg to meet your left leg on the yoga mat. You can spread the legs hips distance apart. We're going to slide the wrists back underneath our shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down the spine. Open up the chest. Inhale, just do a baby cobra. Nice little back bends. Just enough to feel a little bit energized, a little bit uplifted. Exhale, lower down. Stack your forearms on top of each other again. Massage the forehead, roll your forehead side to side. Good. Let the forehead rest on the forearms. Press down through your hips, press down through the pubic bone. We're going to point our toes. Make your legs very, very long. See if you can lift the right foot off of the mat just a couple of inches. Lower the right leg down, and now do the same thing on the left side. We have to create a strong foundation for our body. So we want to be pressing down strongly through our hips as we try to float the left leg off of the mat. We don't want to cause stress in the low back, so if you do feel any tension there, just take the height of the leg a little closer to the earth. Keep the right leg very active and strong. Press to the top of the foot. Let's lower the left leg down. We're going to try this one more time. Lift the right leg this time. Press down strongly to the top of your left foot. Ground down through both hips. Lower the right leg. Now take your left leg up. Notice if one side of the body feels different than the other. All right, let's let both legs come down. Bend your knees. Let your legs go side to side like windshield wipers. Okay. Boop. Take the tops of the feet to the mat. Let's come back up onto the forearms. So we're going to be stacking our shoulders over the elbows. Open the chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. We're going to press down strongly through the top of the right foot this time. Start to bend your left knee for our half frog pose. So bend your left knee. We're going to slide the left thigh up. All right, so we're going to flex our left foot, pull the toes to the shin, and then we want to hinge the left shin away from us. When you look at your leg, you're going to see the shape of a frog leg. So try to keep grounding down through the front of the hips. We want both of the hip bones, those are the iliac crests. We want to press those into the earth. So remember how your spine felt in Sphinx pose. Try to keep finding that length and opening through the spine. So we're visualizing the spine extending up and out through the crown. Maybe you turn your head side to side a few times. Back to center. Start to slide the left leg to meet your right leg on the mat. Slide the wrist back underneath your shoulders. Pin the elbows into the rib cage. Inhale to cobra. Press through the tops of the feet. Press through your hips. Pin the elbows back. Open the chest. Lower down and inhale. Float up to all fours. Tabletop. Step the knees out to the edges of the mat. We'll find our extended wide-legged child's pose. Connect the big toes together behind you, and then really slowly, let's let our hips just drift back to the heels. We'll take our time. You might even just give the hips a little bit of a press or wiggle as they come back. And when you're satisfied, when you're ready, you can walk your hands forward. Think about lengthening the spine in your extended wide-legged child's pose. Take your forehead down to the earth, and if the ground is feeling very far away, you might use a prop. So maybe you grab a yoga block. If we don't have a yoga block, maybe we use a pillow, maybe we use a rolled up blanket or a towel. Once the forehead comes down, become aware of the spine. So visualize your spine lengthening out through the top of the head, and then the base of the spine is moving away from the crown in opposition. So we want to think of this oppositional movement that's going to create length and opening through the back body. Visualize energy moving through the spine, kind of maybe feel it like a massage. With each breath in, our spine elongates. With each exhalation, try to breathe a sense of peace and ease through the body. Bring the palms to prayer mudra, bend the elbows, and then take your hands to the upper back or to the shoulders. Wrap your elbows forward to awaken the triceps. You can move the arms back and forth at will a few times if it feels good for your practice. Start to stack your shoulders over your wrists. Make the palms wide, fan the fingers apart. Press down through the hands and float yourself up to all fours. Stack the hips over the knees. Tuck the toes under and lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Let's pedal out our feet. Try to use this opportunity to check in with your body. You can check in from the crown of the head to the toes. Skin right through. Maybe you wag your tail. You can nod your head yes or shake your head no. And start to step the feet apart to the edges of the mat. We're going to take our left hand, grab a hold of our right leg, pull the chest towards your right thigh, and look under the right arm, look up. We'll do the same thing on the left side. Take the right hand down, make sure the palms are wide. Try to grip your 10 fingerprints into the mat. Step your feet hips distance, bend your knees, and very slowly release down to your tabletop pose again. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. Give the left foot a little massage. You can just kind of press all of the pads of the toes into the mat. It's going to give your toes a stretch, and it's also going to warm up the ankle. Massage the ball of your foot on the mat to energize the arch. And press your left heel to the back of the room. That's going to awaken the whole length of your left leg. So make sure the belly muscles are toned. Take your left ankle up off of the mat. Bring it in line to your left hip. Wrap the ribs in, guys. We don't want to strain the low back, so press back. Dial your left pinky toe down. That's going to keep our hips neutral. And now balance if you can. If your balance is all over the place, feel free to keep your right hand down. But now let's see if we can extend our right arm. Rotate the right thumb up. That's going to create an external rotation in your shoulder. Exhale, squeeze your knee and elbow together. I want you to reconnect with your Samana Vayu. Find that middle point in your body. Feel the energy kind of pulling in here. Inhale. Let the Samana Vayu, let the energy move through the body. Exhale, bring the energy in. We find balance. And now lengthen. So just take a few more rounds of your sunbird pose and just move at any pace that feels good for you. So sunbird is a heating posture, hence the name sunbird. So we think about the Samana Vayu, we think about fire, we think about heat. We're incinerating any energy that's old or stagnant, anything that no longer serves us, we're burning it away. So try to find that heat here. One more. Squeeze in. Good job, you guys. Let's try to just stay with the balance. Find the Samana Vayu again. Let the inhalation move through all the corners of the body. Exhale, release the breath out the same way. Let it move through every cell, every inch of the body. Take your left knee to the mat, circle the right arm up, look up, stack the right shoulder on top of the left, keep your hips neutral, thread the needle, thread the right arm through the window of the left. Let the right shoulder and right temple release to the mat. Keep the hips neutral. We don't want the hips to get wonky. You might take your left arm and just bring it to the top of the mat. You can extend your left arm up or let it drape behind you. Just roll the left shoulder back. There is a balancing pose here. I'm going to flip myself around so you can see a little bit better. If you want to try the balancing pose with me, it takes a little bit of core strength, but it's a lot of fun. So you can either just stay in your stretch or you can join me here for the balancing pose. So let's get ourselves set up. I have my little rosemary plant here because it's pretty, but it's also repelling some of our bug friends that are joining us today on this beautiful day. All right, so let's get our balance set up, guys. So press the palms together in front of the heart. So stack your left shoulder on top of the right shoulder. We're going to shift our weight into our right leg. Stretch your left leg to the back of the mat. We're going to start to stack our left hip on top of the right hip. So we feel our side body stacking one side on top of the other. Ground down through your right side, press through the right elbow and right leg, and float that left leg up. We're going to flex our left foot, and we're going to turn the toes out. Whoa. Try to visualize your torso being pressed between two panes of glass. So if you start to fall backwards here, that's usually game over. There's no coming back usually, but it's okay. We're not falling too far. Right? Oh, beautiful. Okie dokie. Let's start to lower our leg down. We're going to turn our hips back down towards the mat, and make yourself release back to center. We'll take our counter stretch. So we're gonna take our right arm, we're gonna sweep it up, we're gonna look up, and take it down. So with your knees hips distance apart, tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Keep your neck nice and long. Look at the shins, look at the thighs. Take a generous bend in your knees, push your belly to your thighs, glue them together. Lift your hips up and back. We're doing this with the intention of lengthening the spine. So the hips are lifting up and back. The crown of your head is pulling forward. We're spiraling the elbow creases forward to keep our shoulders externally rotated. Try to create a pocket of air under the center of your palm. Exhale, bend the knees and just slowly float yourself to the earth. Tabletop pose. Step your right foot, I'm going to turn around. Step your right foot to the back of the mat this time. Yeah, massage your foot. Just like we did before. My little chickens are squawking away. That means somebody laid an egg. She's happy. You just take a moment in your practice to just kind of observe what's around you. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? All right, let's tone up the midsection, tone up the core, float the right leg up, dial the right pinky toe down. Try to keep lengthening your right leg. So we're just trying to touch our right heel to the back of the room. And if you can balance, let's take the left arm up. So again, we're going to be concentrating on the midpoint, the middle point of our body. We're finding that balancing point, and we want to create heat. So find your sunbird, exhale, squeeze, inhale, length. Move at any pace, you don't have to move with me. I just did like a little bit of a Daffy Duck there. I said move with me. My lips got stuck. Okay. Let's try one more. Squeeze. There's your exhalation. Inhale to open the body. Try to just balance, just hold it. Good job. Okay. Step your knees hips distance apart. We're going to circle the left arm to the sky. Keep your hips neutral. Thread the needle. Left shoulder, left temple down. Hips are neutral. They're not going anywhere. Enjoy the stretch. We want to feel our twist at the midsection. So right at the waistline, we're twisting, we're massaging our organs. Maybe you're visualizing yourself just kind of being rinsed out. And we'll set ourselves up for the balancing pose. So you have the choice to stay right where you are or get your little balance set up. The Samana Vayu, we want to find balance, right? It's about bringing balance to our prana. We take in what we need, we let go what is no longer serving us. So balance on your left leg, we're grounding through our left side. We're going to start to roll our right hip on top of the left. Okay? Flex your right foot, that's going to keep the right leg active and strong. We're going to turn the toes out, and we're just going to visualize our torso stacking one side on top of the other, like we're pressing our torso between two panes of glass. So it's like your front body is pulling towards the back body. We're rolling the right shoulder back so it's not collapsing forward. Try to squeeze your shoulder blades in and down your spine. And if you collapse over backwards, it's kind of funny when it happens. like you laugh, you get up, it's okay. All right, nice work, you guys. Let's come back. Boop, to center. That stretch feels so good. Okay, rotate back to center. We're gonna take our counter stretch. Press through your right hand, take your left arm. Woo. Come back up. Yeah. Okie dokie. Nice work. So, tabletop pose, your knees are hips distance. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. If the hamstrings are a little bit tight, just keep the knees soft. Your heels might be lifted a few inches off of the ground, and that's okay. We just want to keep sending energy down through the heels so the backs of the legs are energized. Hollow out the belly so the bandhas are active. Cultivate your breath. Try to balance the breath in with the breath out. Let's walk our feet to our hands. You can step yourself right up to the top of the mat. Take the big toes together and bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Ground through the feet, reach up, high mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Take your hands to the shins or to the thighs. We're gonna pause here. Notice how your torso is parallel to the earth. Connect to the spine, feel the tailbone pulling back and the crown of your head reaching forward. Wrap the rib cage in. Feel your body expanding in 4 directions at the same time. Lift up your toes, spread the toes apart. So ground through the heels, lift up through the hamstrings. Feel the hips pulling back and let the crown of your head reach forward. The shoulders are relaxing away from the ears. Try to create more space between your ears and shoulders. Bend your knees and forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your left foot back to low lunge, runner's lunge. So press that left heel back. Drive your left heel to the back of the room. Try to feel the hips sinking low and pressing forward. The shoulder blades are squeezing in and down the spine. Maybe you walk your hands on top of the right thigh and then pull the outside of the right hip crease back. Take your palms to the heart. Inhale, lengthen and energize your spine. Exhale, twist your torso to the right. You can take the palms together. Try to spiral your heart towards the palms. Hook your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh and roll the right shoulder on top of the left. The modification here would be to take your left hand to the mat, and you can also drop the back knee down. So do what feels good for you and for your practice. The objective is to find length in the spine. So whichever way you shape your body to allow you to find length, that's what we want to do. There's no right or wrong way to do this as long as we're feeling good where we're at. Draw the right shoulder into the spine. I want you to visualize as you're pulling the shoulder blades into the spine, imagine your shoulder blades are piercing the back of your heart. Picture the spine extending out through the top of the head. So we're lengthening, 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 and then with your exhalation, we're finding our midsection and rinsing ourselves out. Let's come back to center. We're gonna take our hands and frame the right foot. Step your right foot to meet your left foot and plank. Push back through both heels. Step your feet hips distance. Take a couple of breaths, pressing the heels back. Connect to the breath. Hold your heels back. Take the knees and shins to the mat. Shoulders are over the wrists. Bend your elbows straight back. Lower yourself to the earth. Keep the elbows pinned into the ribs and inhale to cobra. Lower down. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, find a child's pose. Find any variation of child's pose that feels good. Maybe the knees are further apart, maybe they're closer together. And take 5 breaths. You can massage your forehead on the mat, so maybe you're rolling your forehead. Maybe you're even rocking or swaying your whole body. Rocking can be very soothing, very kind of grounding. Mammals shake or rock when they're stressed. We know our moms rock us when we are moms. We rock our babies when they're crying to soothe them. Let's walk our hands to the upper right corner of the mat. Cross the left arm over the right arm. Try to imagine that the left side of your body is becoming just a little bit longer than the right side. Drive your left hip to your left heel. Feel the whole left side of the body expanding. Breathe in and let the breath inflate the left side of the ribs. Good. Let's walk our hands to the upper left. Cross the right arm over. Press the right hip into the right heel. Stack your shoulders over the wrists. Let's float ourselves up to all fours. We want to step our knees under the hips, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog, stretch your body. Start to walk your feet to your hands, step yourself to the top of the mat. Your big toes are going to touch. Exhale, forward fold, ground down, reach up, high mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, folds. And inhale, we're going to press up, high mountain. Take steeple grip with your hands. So the first fingers and thumbs are touching. Press through the feet, lift up through the heart. Exhale, bend to the right, shift your hips to the left. Come back to center. Exhale, bend to the left, move your hips to the right, plug the right heel down. Move the breath through the right side body. Come back to center and swan dive, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, forward folds, plant your palms, step the right foot to the back of your yoga mat. Runner's lunge. Let your hands frame your left foot. Keep pressing the right heel back. Just enjoy the stretch. We can start to walk our hands on top of our left thigh. It's okay to keep the hands down if needed. Let's bring our palms together in front of the heart center. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. So we're going to hook our right elbow to the outside of our left thigh. Keep visualizing your spine lengthening out through the crown, and then exhale, the body is spiraling around the axis of the spine. Think about the Samana Vayu, the midsection. Balance. Let's come back to center. Take your hands down to frame your left foot, tone up your core muscles, lift up your bandhas, use your core strength, step your left foot to meet your right foot in plank pose. So in our last round of plank, we took the knees and shins down. You have the option to do that again, or you can keep your legs lifted. Exhale, bend the elbows straight back. If you're keeping the legs lifted, I want you to be very conscious of how the hips come down. We want to focus on lowering our body in one straight line. So if you're noticing that the hips are just dropping first, you might want to consider just keeping your legs down. And then over time, as we become stronger, we can try again to lift the legs. Okay, inhale. Cobra. Round through the hips. Feel the hips being very sturdy and grounded. Feel the feet pressing into the earth. Lower down. Inhale, float to all fours, tabletop. And exhale to puppy pose. Keep the knees hips distance. Take the hands forward. Lift your tailbone up. Imagine there's a string tied around your heart. That string's going to pull your heart straight down. Your chest will hover a few inches above the earth. Start to float yourself up. Tabletop pose. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Draw your chest to your thighs. Let's take a nice big stretch through the whole body. And the breath. Start to walk your feet to your hands. We're going to step our feet hips distance at the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, ground down, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bow. Inhale, ground down, reach up. Exhale, take palms to namaste. Samasti to he. Take a restorative breath in. Exhale, big sigh through the mouth. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down your spine. Press down evenly through the feet. Soften the knees. Lengthen the spine. Find your back bend. Try to push your thighs and hips forward. If you're feeling stress on the low back, try not to go back as far. We always want to find length first. Inhale to a neutral spine. Exhale, hinge out of your hips. Forward fold. Let the arms float up and away. So I'm going to take my feet out just a little wider. You might do the same. Or just stay where you are. You can release the bind at any time. Take the hands down. Maybe you take a opposite elbow grip with the hands, finding a little ragdoll pose. Try to keep the weight of your body stacked in the heels. And then press down through the heels, lift up through the hamstrings. It's going to create that line of opposition through the back of your legs. You're going to feel the legs energize. And visualize your torso being poured forward out of the hips. You're going to soften the torso. Try to relax your shoulders. Surrender through the neck and just allow gravity to pull your head to the earth. Visualize space and length opening in your cervical spine. Release the binds of the hands. Just let the arms hang. Nod your head yes and shake your head no. Nod yes. Ease your body to stillness. We're going to slide our hands under our feet. Step your toes up to the wrists. Gorilla asana. So press your feet into the hands and imagine that you want to pull the hands out from under your feet. Keep lengthening the spine. So pull the tailbone back, let the crown of the head reach forward, and we're just going to try to find a little bit of lift through the torso. Make sure the muscles in your face are relaxed. Your mouth is closed, your teeth are gently parted. Relax the tongue, just let it kind of soften and rest at the bottom of the mouth. Let's take our hands out from under our feet. Bring your hands to your hips. Draw the shoulder blades in and down your spine. Lift up the toes. Let the weight of your body sink back heavily into the heels. Send the crown of the head forward and the tailbone back. Press into the mat and lift yourself up. Good job. Turn the toes out, bring the heels in. We're going to find Malasana low squat. Press the palms to prayer mudra. Start to soften the knees. Visualize your quadriceps externally wrapping around the femur bones, so you're tracking your knees out to the pinky toes. Visualize your sacrum becoming very heavy and low. Tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Soften the shoulders. Your back is flat. Imagine if you pressed yourself into a wall, the back would be totally flush. Start to track your knees out to your pinky toes. We're going to try to come down nice and slow. We're going to bring our elbows to the insides of our legs. You can place a block underneath the bottom here if you'd like a little bit of support. Press or hug your legs into the elbows and then push the elbows into the legs. That's going to give us a little bit of resistance, a little bit of a deepening of the stretch in our hips and our inner thighs. Reconnect to the Samana Vayu. Visualize a ball of fire just above the belly button, just below the solar plexus. Try to direct your breath into that ball of fire. Feel the breath moving through the four sides of the body. Let the low belly soften and expand out as you breathe in here. So you might kind of relax the bandhas to work with the breath. Maybe you kind of play around a little bit. You play with the muscles in the pelvic floor. You can kind of hold a little bit of tension there to work with the breath. See what you can observe here. Slowly begin to release out of Malasana. Take your bottom to the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Let your hands grip the feet. Close your eyes. Maybe you just rock and sway a few times. Acknowledge this moment here on the mat. Acknowledge the time that you've made for yourself. Put a little smile on your face. Just a little Buddha smile. Try to feel joy and bliss building in the heart and in the soul. Become aware of your surroundings. What do you hear? Can you smell anything? What do you feel? Let the forearms drape heavily over your inner legs. You can take a peace finger grip around the big toes. Squeeze the shoulder blades in and down the spine. Create a long oppositional spine. You can also do this with blocks or pillows under the legs. One more breath here. Nice job, guys. Use your hands, lift up through the crown. Just start to guide the legs towards each other. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a great big hug. Exhale, push the spine away from you. Round your back. Think about opening up the back of the heart. Inhale, lift up through the heart, lift up through the crown. Extend the arms, gesture to the universe that you're open to receive. Exhale, begin to roll the spine one vertebrae at a time, all the way down to the yoga mat. Try to visualize your spine rolling itself down like a set of train tracks. Try to keep pulling the belly button towards the earth. And take the knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your shins, rock and roll, massage your back on the mat. Extend your legs to the sky, point and flex your feet, roll the ankles. Let's wrap our arms around the hamstrings. See if you can lift up your head and shoulders here. Try to look at the shins. Hollow out the belly, pull the belly into the spine, grip your low back into the yoga mat. Maybe you reach your hands up towards the toes. You can even take a few little crunches. Keeping your head and shoulders lifted. Take your left leg down. Interlace the fingers behind the right leg and just give the right leg a stretch. We want to ground down solidly through the back of the left leg. Flex your left foot. Keep hollowing out the belly. Try to lift up from the sternum, not the back of the neck. Let the right leg release all the way over to the left side of your body, and you can let the head and shoulders come down to the mat. So we'll release into our spinal twist. And I'm just going to flip around. Don't mind me. So let the right leg come all the way over. So you have the option here. You can let the left arm just kind of rest heavily over the right leg, and then take the right arm, bend the right elbow, bring it into a cactus arm shape. With an exhalation, try to ground down through the right shoulder blade. Turn your head towards the right if that feels good for your neck and shoulders. Breathe in, visualize your spine lengthening. And then with your exhalation, we're twisting from the waistline, and we're going to try to send energy down through the right shoulder blade. Reconnect to the Samana Vayu. Think about purification. Breathe in to nourish the body, to nourish the mind. And then exhale, let go of what no longer serves you. Notice how the contour of the body has changed. So in our Samana Vayu, we're breathing in and we're feeling the prana move through the sides of the body, through the front, through the back. And in our twisting pose now, what does that feel like? Carefully begin to turn onto your back. Take your knees into your chest, massage the back, rock and roll. With an exhalation, lift up your head and shoulders. Coil yourself up. Make yourself as small as you can. Stay in control of the breath. We might want to hold our breath here, but keep the balance flowing in the breath. The inhalations and exhalations are even. Let's start to open the limbs, spread them away, lift up the head and shoulders. Reach the fingertips up. Again, you might take some crunches. So we're going to interlace our fingers around our left leg and slowly just drop your right leg down. We're going to flex the right foot, so start to pull the toes to the shin. Let the right leg come all the way down. Strongly ground it into the mat. You can slide your hands up your left leg to deepen the stretch. And remember, guys, we're using our core strength here. So send awareness to the belly button. Try to push the belly button into your spine so your belly is going to hollow, and then hug the corners of the low back into the mat. Lift up from right here. Lift up from the sternum. Release the left leg all the way over to the right side of your body, and we'll set ourselves up into our spinal twist. Try to plug the left scapula, the left shoulder blade into the earth. Feel the twist, massaging the waistline. Our twisting poses help our digestion. So when you think about the function of the Samana Vayu, one of the functions, is to help us assimilate all of our experiences, our emotions, and even the food we eat. It helps us to kind of find balance there. So as you're thinking about your digestion, try to feel this twist, massaging your organs. Try to direct the energy from your Samana Vayu into the midsection, into the intestines. Turn onto your back. Take your knees into your chest. Massage yourself, massage your back. Take your legs to the sky, point and flex the feet, roll the ankles, Asana. Ground down through the sacrum, press the heels up, draw the toes to the shins. Tone the bandhas. Feel the weight of your body balancing over the sacrum, balancing over the root chakra. So we're pressing down. So if we visualize the root chakra, it's just kind of below your tailbone. And imagine all 7 chakras becoming aligned as we press down through the root chakra. Maybe you visualize the chakras are all the same size. They're glowing. The crown of your head is purple or white. The root chakra is red. And all 7 chakras are churning in sync with each other. They're like turbines. They're pulling in what they need, and they're releasing what they don't. Point your toes to the sky. Let the legs get long. And now let the legs fan out into a wide straddle. You can take your hands to the insides of your legs to encourage them to open more deeply. Try to keep balancing over your root chakra. Bend your knees, reach your hands up, happy baby pose. You can play with the legs a little bit. Maybe you just alternate bending and extending the legs. You can rock and roll. If you're going side to side, that's going to give you a little bit of core work. Allow the body to be your leader or guide. We want to turn our thinking minds off, so we're not thinking about how we're moving the body, but just allowing our bodies to move. And listening. Our consciousness is focused inwards. Start to draw both of your legs together, Dandasana pose. Hug your back into the earth. Exhale, slowly lower your legs down. If this causes stress on your low back, tuck your hands under your hips or just bend your knees and take the feet down. If your body is craving a final stretch or final posture, use the next 5 to 10 breaths to take any pose you choose. And your practice in a way that feels good for you. Let's start to wrap up our final pose. If you need to do anything to prepare for Shavasana, if you want to grab a blanket or pillow, do whatever you need to do. And then we'll make our way together into Supta Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. So the soles of the feet are pressed together, the knees are splaying out. Sometimes this pose feels really nice with a little bit of support underneath your legs. Take your hands to your Samana Vayu. So we want to find that middle point between the lower part of the body and the upper part of the body. So it should be just above where you feel your, like right where the belly button is. Just go right above that, and it's just below the solar plexus chakra. Where the Uddiyana Bandha is, it's kind of just above that. So let's take our hands and let them rest. Reconnect to your Samana Vayu. Breathe in and try to pull the breath into the body. Try to bring it down underneath the fingertips. Feel the breath moving along the rib cage, so all the side body, the front of the body, the back of the body. Exhale, release the breath through the nostrils and allow the breath to take with it anything that is no longer serve you. Let the breath comb through every inch of the body. Take one more cycle of breath here. Allow the arms to rest alongside of your body with the palms facing up. Again, we're turning the palms up, we're gesturing to the universe that we're open to receive. Maybe you turn your head a few times side to side. Take a final scan of your body. Try to relax the body as softly as you can over the mat. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Feel the eyes drawing in to their sockets. Try to flatten out your forehead. Imagine the structures located in your inner ears beginning to migrate more deeply towards the center of your head. Your mouth is closed, your teeth are gently parted. Try to relax your throat. Soften the armpits. Imagine your nerve plexuses that run through the armpits are gaining more space as you soften the area. Again, try to balance your body over the root chakra and allow this balancing point to allow the other 7 chakras to align with one another. Continue to scan all the way down to the feet. Reverse trace the path of the scan, ending at the top of the head. Let the inside of your body soften. Allow your heart to open. Let your mind open. And begin Shavasana. Begin to make small movements by wiggling your fingers and toes. Make circles with your wrists and ankles. Roll onto your side and rest. Start to turn your third eye towards the yoga mat and press it in to create a seal of energy from today's practice. allowing your head to hang and letting it come up last. Use your hands and carefully just press yourself up into a seated posture. We'll bring our palms together in front of the heart. Bow your head to your heart. The light in me honors the light in you.